Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, continuing the Anime Element March Madness tournament. We're on our third region today. We have the Lightning division. So if you've listened to the previous two, you know we're going to go through the division and get our Final Four competitor. And if you haven't listened to the previous two, make sure you go listen to those before listening to this. So we got the crew. We got Andrea, Byron, Niki, and Cedric with us. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. This one was tough to pick, but I'm excited to see what everyone else's answers are.
Yep. This was an interesting one. I'm kind of going in a little blind, so I'm just gonna see where the wind takes me on this one.
Niki, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. This one was tough, though. I'm not gonna lie. They got to the second and third round. I was like, oof. I flip flopped. I might still flip flop. I'll be honest.
Okay. Cedric, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. So, hearing some echoes from people saying this one was tough. Before we get into it, Byron, what made it so tough for you?
Because most of the people in this bracket have a affinity to lightning, so they're very high resistant to lightning. So it just is difficult to see who can outpower the other.
Fair enough. Andrea and Niki, you said it was a little difficult too. Were you echoing some of the same things Byron said, or was it difficult for different reasons?
Mostly the same reason for me. I think the other thing is also kind of just durability scale, I guess. Just kind of extrapolating on that is we don't really know. I mean, with Denki Kaminari in particular, I mean, we see him in the show, kind of reach his max input output. But I'm not sure these other characters we really ever see that happen too much. So it's like it's a very clear cut thing for him, but maybe not most of the other characters.
I guess even with him, is it even clear cut? Because you said in the show wise, if someone was saying, well, Denki's going to do X, X, and X, the final battle against All for One in the manga,
right?
So we don't know his true final output.
That's true.
I think him and Zenitsu, their shows are still going on, and I don't know about Denki, but I know for a fact Zenitsu is going to reach levels well beyond where he's already at.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always the tough thing with these things. But let's get right into it. We'll start at the top, work our way through. And we have a favorite on this pod. We have Mr. Killua from Hunter x Hunter versus the Zatch Bell from Zatch Bell. Byron, you're always first, my man. So what did you what did you think about this matchup?
I honestly am going with Killua. I haven't really seen much of Hunter x Hunter or Zatch Bell, but I know from a clip I've seen of Hunter x Hunter that Killua literally ripped a man's heart out. So I don't know if Zatch Bell can deal with that. And the clip I've seen of Zatch Bell, he did have a lightning dragon, but I know Killua has a resistance to lightning. So that's why I'm going with Killua.
Okay. Andrea?
Yep, I also pick Killua. Love him dearly. Especially with the whole, I know Zatch Bell, I believe physically he's not made out of like normal like human flesh and stuff like that, but Killua was able to pull out that man's heart with just like sheer will of force of like sharpening his fingernails and making his hands harder, going through skin bone through the man's chest, pulling it out. So like I don't think Killua would really struggle with Zatch Bell too much.
Fair enough. Niki?
Killua, honestly.
Cedric, did you want to add anything to this Killua Zatch Bell matchup?
Nope.
Got you. Yeah. The only reason I picked Killua just because of the different styles of something similar like the Sailor Moon stuff, just the different styles of fighting. Like they're not really throwing hand-to-hand combat over there on Zatch Bell. It's all spells from books and all that. So I feel like that style would not work out. All right, so Killua advances. So then we got Lactus from Fairy Tail versus Denki from My Hero Academia. Niki, who do you have winning this one?
I went Loxus on this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I chose not to look all the way into My Heroes manga because I'm watching it. So
yep.
I looked into everybody else's. I said, screw it. But this one I didn't. So I went Loxus just because lightning has no effect on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically the same as Natsu. If you listen to our Fire one, you heard us talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the same in that way. At this point, I don't really think Denki stands a chance from what I've seen.
Fair enough. Cedric?
Yeah, I'm picking Loxus.
Mm-hmm. Andrea?
I will go with Loxus as well. I have not watched Fairy Tail. I think for me, it's just kind of Denki's, does it a little too much or receives a little too much, and he goes, mindless essentially. So knowing that there is some sort of like cap for him, I feel like he probably would lose this fight.
Byron, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I picked Loxus as well because he can eat lightning like Natsu can eat fire. So that was my main point of passing him through because I don't think Dinky can handle a lot of lightning like Loxus can. So I think Loxus would just overpower him.
I will say now in season 6, Denki's at the point where he is like literally a lightning rod. So he can absorb any of these people's stuff. I think with this, like when Niki eloquently said on the last thing on the other people, Denki has no hand-to-hand abilities.
Right.
So like Byron, I know when we talk about it in our college football thing, when talent equates, what do you got left? And like when Niki was saying, if you take away all the things and everyone's matching each other in powers, and it comes to straight hands, and who wins? And Denki has no hands. Zero. Absolutely
very few
none.
people in My Hero have hands, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves, but we're going to save that for a different day.
We got Gil Thunder from Seven Deadly Sins versus, did you say it Anel? Niki, is that how you say it?
Yes.
From One Piece. You got a One Piece in person in here, so you got to start with Niki. Niki, who do you got?
I got Anel.
Okay. Why do you got Anel?
I just don't think I've seen enough out of Gil Thunder to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, Anel, he has observation hockey.
Mm-hmm.
That's confirmed. That's what that is. If you spoiler, 400 episodes in, 300 episodes in, sue me. But like, that's the first instance of observation hockey.
Okay.
And like, he's literally lightning. That's what it is when you eat a Logia devil. So I just don't think Gil Thunder has it in him.
Got you. Byron?
I also picked Anel because basically the same reasons that Niki did. Also, I don't know how much Gil Thunder can absorb lightning. I know he's has high durability, but I don't know how durable he is against lightning.
Cedric?
I'll go Anel.
Andrew, is there anything you wanted to add?
Absolutely not.
Okay. What did I have on here? I said Anel. I mean, like Niki was saying, when I was reading up and watching his stuff, his abilities are crazy. And then with Seven Deadly Sins, maybe because I've been spoiled with Dragon Ball, they said Gil Thunder's like power level reached like 2,330. And I was like, is that supposed to be high or is that low? I know it's high. I'm assuming it's high because they made a big deal out of it, but I'm like where are you placing in other verses if your power?
Yeah, he's supposed to be like one of the top holy knights in Seven Deadly Sins.
I did see that. Yeah, one of the holy knights, one of the strongest out there. But this Anel, I was like, wow, we got some hacks over there in Niki's world.
There truly are.
We got Luck Volta from Black Clover versus Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. Andrew, who do you got?
So I really, honestly, this is the matchup that I wanted the most guidance on, because for me, I think it comes down to speed for the both of them. And I'm not sure, maybe y'all saw it in your research somewhere, but I don't really know kind of scale wise who's faster. And for me, I think that might be the decisive factor.
So
I don't really know.
Well, you can't move on without you picking, man. I mean, you can always change your answer, but if you're leaning which way are you leaning?
Well, I would have to lean towards Zenitsu only because I know him better.
Okay. That is fair. That is fair. Niki?
Obviously, I'm a huge Black Clover fan.
Mm-hmm.
I love Luck.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to give him the dub. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
But like when it comes to side characters in these shows, Zenitsu's just that tier above Luck. Like, don't get it twisted. Luck's one of 4 people to achieve a certain spell in that show, if you're reading the manga. But like Zenitsu, what he does in his manga, I low key will give it to Zenitsu, especially because he uses a sword.
Fair enough. Cedric?
Zenitsu.
Okay. Byron, do you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I picked Zenitsu too because I think that Godspeed, from what I've seen, is super fast. I don't know how fast Luck Volta is in Black Clover.
And I guess too because Niki said with like the manga when he was talking about Zenitsu and like what he's about to become in these like down the road, he becomes the fastest person in that verse.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to be at the point, he's going to get to the point where he's tagging Musin. So,
which is impressive.
Which I mean, I know the thing too. His biggest thing is obviously right now, anime wise, he is only confident when he is asleep. That is obviously a super big weakness right now for him. His unconscious combat, which we will see him overcome in a year's time. So, but I agree. Now these final fours, this is where I think it's really. You got Killua versus Lactus. Niki, who you got here?
So this is the one I kept flip-flopping between, and I broke it down to, can Loxus handle Killua's assassin skills, basically? Because Godspeed's not doing anything. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
That has 0 effect on Loxus. So Killua's main Nen attack has nothing. And so it comes down to his assassination. I think I chose Killua, but honestly, yeah, no, I'm going to go Killua on this one, but I could change, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie, because ever since you guys were telling me about Natsu and stuff, and I've been watching the fairy tale and all that stuff, and then I was watching Lactus and stuff, I was like, man, these people out here really throw the ones like almost every day. I went Lactus, man. I really did. Lactus, I really did. I just feel like, one, I think Lactus has more abilities than Killua. That is almost a fact. And I just feel like if Killua has to just go back, like you said, the assassination thing, I think that he's fought enough that he'd be able to hang. I just really do. That's why I went the fairy tale, man, this one. Byron.
Yeah, this one was one of the ones I was struggling on too. Just like the same reasons Niki had, because Godspeed's not doing anything against Loctus because he could just eat all that lightning, and I don't know how great Killua's assassin abilities are. But Loxus does have a ultimate move where he basically, if he feels like you're his enemy, he can just like get rid of you. So I think if push came to shove, Loxus could just Fairy Law, yes, thank you, Cedric. That Loxus could just overpower Killua, so I got Loxus.
Okay. Cedric?
I am looking at one thing because my curiosity is not just Godspeed, because we've seen him use it to run fast.
Yeah.
If that could also be doubled up with his assassin abilities, because I mean, dude Like your muscle doesn't matter. If he's penetrating your skin, he's taking your heart. And so I'm just wondering if, without using the electricity, just using Godspeed to get fast enough to essentially take Laxus's heart.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know.
Y'all got me hip on this dragon magic shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna
Well, and that's the thing. Like Laxus's abilities are insane because he's an artificial dragon slayer. So he has like the Lachrysma, whatever they call it, cells injected, and so it's more potent for him. Hence why his lightning magic, he can do a lot of other stuff as well. And he's also the the grandson of the guild leader. Hence why he can use fairy law. I don't think he's ever landed it. I think he came close once, but he has the ability to use it. I mean, the original master passed it on to specific individuals. Him and Kano were the only ones.
I have a question for you, Cedric and Niki, because I know you watch it. At what point did he fight Natsu? Because they're talking a lot of stuff here about like how he was able to like evade some stuff from Natsu and fight him for a bit. Was it early in the series or like later on?
So early in the series is the first initial fight.
Okay.
A lot later on, there's like 2-3 different arcs where you just don't see Laxus's existence whatsoever. And then it's like thought that he left to go, then he comes back, kind of remorseful, trying to find his way. He has his own like squatting unit, so they do their own things, do their own missions. Laxus's real big power up boost, I think personally, is when they do the wizard games.
Okay.
Because similar with Dragon Slayer magic, there's God Slayer magic, Demon Slayer magic, all that jazz. There's a Thunder God Slayer in what's thought to be at the time the #1 guild that he fights, and honestly, that match is live. And so, I think that was like a true test of like you don't really see Laxus. Almost, it's rare that he doesn't. I think the only other person he may have struggled with is his grandfather, just because I mean he's one of the wizard saints, and then anyone else that's like Ezra, who's just like almost god tier infinite magic power, or just a true mismatch for his abilities. But a lot of times he's a guy, he'll take an ass whooping too. Like, dude, I remember when he was fighting the demons, dude's whole body was poisoned, so essentially he couldn't use magic. He still whooped that dude's ass at the end, and like almost died pretty much. So like, as far as heart goes, I think Laxus has more heart than a lot of people on this, but the fight was early on from my memory. I think I don't recall them ever fighting again enough to be like a highlight of the show. Like you see more Natsu and Gray fight.
Okay.
Like a couple different times throughout the show.
And you bring that up. That's a good thing. I guess a good kind of counterpoint for Killer is like, Killer didn't really fight that much in the show.
He didn't.
Like we talked about that moment with the heart. That was at the beginning. And then Godspeed was in the Ant arc. And it's like, he didn't even.
Well, I mean, you had the world tournament for them.
That's
tower,
true. That was the
tower. But even then, like,
he was overpowered compared to everybody else at that point until they started using Nen. And even when they first started using Nen, his opponents are just not to his level. But once they kind of.
Well, him and Gon both took an L initially when they first started doing the Nen abilities because they underestimated their opponents. It fell for like easy like traps.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah.
My thing with Kahlua is he's not. And to my memory, I haven't seen him down bad to the point where it's like, yeah, like I have to win or I die.
Yeah.
Like normally his brother, that whole thing is like, if you don't fight anyone that you can't beat, then you just leave.
You gotta run.
Wouldn't it be his situations like that were right when he removed his brother's Nen needle with what was that guy's name? I want to say Raditz, but that's not right because that's a Dragon Ball Z character.
Oh,
But-
hell.
yeah, like I know that's not the right name. But the ant that's like a rabbit, and the first ant that they ever encountered, that's when Killua had that whole like psychological, and then he removed.
Oh yeah,
the
You talking about the octopus?
No, the chimera ant that had the wings, the rabbit
yes,
that
the
could
wings
use
with
Nen.
the rabbit
Oh,
face.
It was the first time
I
that
know
they
who you're talking
seen
about. Yeah.
that they themselves have fought chimera ant that could use Nen as
Yeah.
well. But even then, like it wasn't so much as he was going to die because he ended up smoking that dude.
Well, right, but it was because it was such a close level of power. That's when Illumi's Nen Needle was like, it's safer to run. Like you should run. Like you don't know if you're gonna win. Da, da, da. And that's he took the Nen Needle out and then smoked him because, yeah. But removing that fear, and then I'm sorry, I can't see who's talking right now the way I have my Zoom set up, but. Whoever mentioned the battle with the octopus, like that would also be another situation where Killua was like literally on the brink of death.
Where does Lactus rank among like the people on Fairy Tail? Like if you guys had
In the guild, or are we talking about in their universe?
I'll say the guild.
Because their universe is quasi broken.
Yeah, so like guild.
In the guild, as far as outside the Guildmaster, he is I rank him. He's the second strongest person in the guild.
Me too.
Because Urza's the first strongest because she becomes the next Guildmaster when the show ends.
Okay.
And Mira Jane, she's strong, but she doesn't do missions or anything like that. So
don't forget about my boy Gildarts. I got him as one.
Gildarts. See, Gildarts. He's such a fucking. That's just so fucking sweet too. He's a great character, but
he's a Shanks ass motherfucker.
He's like the guy that like shows up every now and then. Like he's like if Jiraiya never came back but once or twice in the show.
Still technically in the guild in the show. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
because I'm asking that because now like just trying to think of tiebreakers in my own head. Like where would you rank Killua? Like in the
as far as like I'll keep it 100. I think Kurapika could be Killua.
I do
just
too.
Because of the change.
Absolutely.
I do too.
I think Gon could beat Killua just because of their Nen abilities are so different.
Yep.
I mean, Leario is trash, but he's a comic relief. Like,
right, he's comic relief. He's also, going to be the doctor. He's
he was in third place to be the new chair. That was funny.
That was hilarious.
That man is. Well, I can't even say man because technically he's like 14 years old, which
is wild.
Yeah. They're all like 15, 16 years old.
That's his own business. Like that's his own business. But if we're talking like the Hunter x Hunter universe, I mean, if excluding like Kite, Knuckles, Fu, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kalua's up there, but it's not like he's also like what 10 years old.
I know that's the thing.
They're all about the same age, so he's also about 14. But yeah, no, he's a child. That was my question: is how old?
I think they're younger than Leario.
No, they're a little bit younger. They're
Lactus a little bit grown. He's like 20 something.
I think that's the other thing for me is that Killua is still so young. I personally, this is just my bone to pick with the writing. I feel like his special abilities are just not very varied, and that's something I really struggle with.
Because
with him, and honestly with Gon, I'm not the biggest fan of his Nen abilities. I just maybe because I don't have the imagination to see how they're gonna expand from there. But yeah, so yeah, I wouldn't put Killua at the very top of the Hunter x Hunter universe. I think he could be towards the top once he's an actual adult, like when we got to see Gon, borrowing his lifetime of Nen against.
Yeah, that was
like if you could imagine Killua doing that again, it would be just like holy shit. But
problem is we can't future cast on this, so we got to use what we got.
And that's the thing. Like Killua right now isn't the strongest person in his family.
Yeah.
No, it's still his dad.
Because I was just thinking of like different, like if I did because I think I don't know, man. Because Lactus when he gets to like his strongest, whatever you got, Niki and Cedric educate me. So when he's at his very strongest at the end of the series, whatever, and Natsu's at his very strongest end of the series, is he at least competing with Natsu?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, are we talking with or without plot armor?
I was gonna say without because the reason I'll bring that up because I think Natsu would smoke the dog shit out of Killua.
The only reason I say without
yeah.
plot armor is because literally the last arc that ends the show is pretty much about Natsu.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
And so
main character
when the show ends, like, yeah, Natsu. I'll put it like this: I think in a fight, straight up, if it was like at the end of the show, whatever he resolves, whatever demons he has, for Niki knows that's a little inside joke, but I think Loxus could still beat Natsu at the end of the show.
Oh shit!
That's all I need to know.
Because I know Ursa stopped both him and Gray when they were fighting at the end of the show. When they're at essentially their tops, like E&D, Natsu versus Demon Slayer, Gray. Like, she stopped both their punches from colliding. They were for real trying to kill each other.
Shoot. Oh yeah, we're still on all that great conversation. We're still on Cedric's vote.
Yeah, that was my question. I've been looking. I don't, and it's no offense to the kid. I just don't think he's as battle tested as Loxus.
Fair enough. Because who's voted? Because Byron, you voted.
You know what?
Yeah, I said Loxus.
I'm changing back to Loxus too. Anyway, like now that we were talking about it, I was like, okay, yeah, I sold my boy short.
Well, that's what.
Plus, he also literally has
what it's about.
Lightning, like as we're talking about the final arc. He literally has lightning that surpasses lightning, whatever the fuck that means. He's got it, though.
Anime logic.
Exactly, but he's
lightning
got
squared.
it, though. Like, we talk about fairy law, he's also got lightning that can surpass lightning, so.
Yeah, this lightning, this one is shaping up to be something. And now versus Zenitsu, Niki.
I win Zenitsu. I think he's way too fast for
Anel.
Like, Anel has observation hockey, but like he could still get hit, especially with unpredictability. So like no matter how, and like his observation hockey, it's all dependent on his speed, basically. Like just because you have it doesn't mean you're faster. Like Luffy still cranked this shit in the show. Don't get it twisted.
Niki, for people who don't watch One Piece, explain what the hockey is.
Hockey is the ultimate. So
okay,
you hear about Devil Fruits. Hockey is the ultimate trump card in that show.
Gotcha.
That is the top tier thing. The Pirate King, essentially, Gold D. Roger, he had no Devil Fruit, and it was pure hockey. And like observation hockey is your basically like how observant you are. Like you just have better eyes, basically. Like that's what it truly is. You kind of get like eyes in that show. There's 3 types.
Gotcha. So you went Byron.
So wait, that nigga can swim? Goldie Roger?
No.
Yes.
Oh, well, I guess he could because he didn't eat the
Oh, that's the
fruit.
reason why he's a pirate king. None of them other motherfuckers can swim.
Well, Cedric, you're not wrong.
Byron?
Yeah, I think it comes down to speed. But the thing with Anel, though, is I read that he can output like 2 million volts of electricity. I don't know if Zenitsu could survive like 2 million volts
That's a fair question.
Electricity. So I went Anel only for that fact alone.
Fair enough. I went Anel as well, and the only reason I went Anel because I wrote in my bracket down on here paper. I said because it's not the Zenitsu at the end of the series.
See, I'm going off the end of the series. Well, that's my point of reference. That's why I said that.
Because like, what can I watch on YouTube? What little anime power scaler can I watch real quick? And I'm like, oh, Anel has all these abilities, which Niki's already said. One Piece, you're just all full of fucking tricks over there. And I'm just like, if Zenitsu really gets snapped by 2 million volts, I don't know if he's surviving that multiple times. So I just want to know. But then again, I don't care either way. Andrea?
My instinct was also to go with Anel because same thing. I mean, we saw Zenitsu get struck by lightning, which is how his hair changed color. So that was normal lightning. So I'm guessing, if he gets zapped 1-2 times, he's toast. So he could be, too fast to get hit, but he also, so far in the anime, can't sustain that that level of speed and power more than I think it's in the.
Twice.
Is it twice? Yeah,
Yeah.
2 or 3 times,
and
something
the
like that. Entertainment arc, yeah.
Arc, he said he could only do it twice, one to get out of the rubble and then one to
Kill
man,
Donkey. That's right. That's right.
That man
Yeah.
had a whole building falling. What an ending to that season. But continue, Andrea.
Oh yeah, no, I picked an L.
Okay. Cedric, was there anything you wanted to add?
Nope.
I was saying, I can't wait to see what Zenitsu becomes, and I can't wait for people to see him. Man, Niki, one of your guys again. Actually, I guess both these are your guys, but I always call One Piece people your guys. In the Elite Eight. Now versus Lactus. Who do you got in this?
This one's tough because Loxus isn't affected and Anel isn't affected
All
by
right.
lightning,
So
basically.
talent's
you know?
equating.
Yeah, exactly. So like that kind of cancels out. So then we have Anel's observation hockey, basically,
Mm-hmm.
versus Loxus's other magic.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this one's tough. If we're going off base, you know what? I'm gonna go with Nell on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him the dub with the observation hockey.
Okay. I'll just go Laxus. I'm riding with Fairy Tale today. I don't know. I'm riding with them all day today. Andrew, who do you got?
I also have Laxus.
Cedric?
I'm rocking with Laxus. Fairy Law.
Byron, do you have anything you want to add to this?
No, I was going with Loxus too because of Fairy Law. That move is the ultimate move.
All right. So we got, man, look at the diversity coming in this. Laxus makes it to the final four. He's going to be fighting against the person from the Earth Division. So, man, we got a captain. We got fish karate. We got literal lightning. Yes, this is a final four building over here. So that is it with the Lightning Division. When you guys preview just a little bit, previewing the Earth Division, what do you guys see in there that might be interesting?
Pika from One Piece. I'll say that now.
Oh, we can say that now. He's beating the dog shit out of Risho. He sucks.
Ah!
Oh, well, damn.
I was gonna say, I was like, Risha, like when I saw Yu Yu Hakusho person's like, oh, who is it? And then I read the name, I was like, oh.
I also don't like how everyone in One Piece is literally like 7 foot is short over there.
Yeah, he's a hefty man
He's an understatement.
with the baby voice.
What?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, I can't wait for y'all to please listen to it. And it's dubbed now, technically. So you can listen to his dub. Oh, it's beautiful. They give him the most high-pitched voice possible. It's truly lovely. It's pure comedy.
Don't sleep on Jura.
Mm.
Don't sleep on Jura. Okay.
When you see the universal
Oh.
power scale, that
Mm.
that nigga's sweet.
I just watched that man fight too. So yeah.
Fair enough. All right. That is it with this round. We will be doing Earth next week. We'll go into some closing remarks. Andrea, you're first.
Thanks everybody. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed this episode. Like we said earlier, if you haven't listened to the other two previous episodes, definitely check them out. Let us know where we got it right, where we got it wrong. We love to hear feedback. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to doing the Earth round.
Niki?
Man, as always, like Andrea said, leave your comments below. Tune in next week. As Martin said, we're one person away from the final four where shit will get serious. I could say that.
Man, amen. Byron?
Another wonderful episode in the books. Thank you for all listening to us talk about anime March Madness. It's been fun. Can't wait till next week.
Cedric?
Yeah, what they all said.
There you go. Yeah, just dittoing what they all said. Again, big thing. Let us know how you what you guys think about these episodes on comments on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you listen to these podcasts. We greatly appreciate the feedback. Which will be coming out soon. A Dragon Ball one where we actually got feedback from fans there. Andrea's gotten feedback from some of like her like friends from the past who have listened to our stuff. So like just hearing other people's feedback on where we can improve, what they like, what we could have tweaked is always helpful because again, we love doing these because we love talking anime and we love hearing your guys' opinions on this. And with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. One away from our final four, and we will decide that next week. You guys take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.